Joining me right now on Kumite TV is Eternal MMA flyweight contender Steve Erceg. What's going on, Steve?
I'm pretty well. How you going?
Good, man. The first thing I want to get into is at the beginning of your career, you fought once a year, but this
Yes.
year, 2019, this is going to be your third fight, and it's not even over yet. So, what has changed?
Um. Well, this year's been lucky. Every other year, I've had pull out after pull out after pull out. I had a whole show close up on me. So, yeah, this year I just had people showing up to fight me and promotions that have been doing their best to find me fights. I'm thankful.
Your first and only loss was back in 2017. After that, you won three in a row. You've become a contender for Eternal. What did you learn from that loss that has propelled you?
Um. From that loss, basically, I learned I need to wrestle more. I got a good ground game. I got good stand up, and my wrestling's better than most of the guys in Australia. So I got to use all my attributes. I get caught up in wanting to stand up with people because that's where people think I'm the worst, and I want to prove them wrong. And yeah, I don't do that anymore.
Your last fight against Tim Moore, Eternal 45. A lot of people considered you the underdog going in. Did you feel
Mhm.
that when you went into that fight?
Uh, I was pretty sure when I walked in, everybody was going to boo me, and they did, and that was fun. Had a little smile on my face walking out to the cage. I think I'm the best guy in Australia. So I'm never going to look at myself as the underdog. Um, I think, like, I recognize that other people thought I was the underdog, but I was very confident I was going to go in there and I was going to show everybody why I'm the best. And I think I did a good job.
Definitely. You went in there, you choked him out in the third round. But talk about the first two rounds. How did you feel? Did it come a little harder than you expected?
Um, well, I expected him to come out southpaw, so straight away he came out orthodox, which actually worked in my favor. I thought I started landing the leg kicks. I sort of because I could land my leg kicks, I could set up everything else off it. And then he obviously didn't like the leg kicks, and I could see that, and he switched stances. Because I was the only thing I think Timor really brings is his takedown game, and because of that, I didn't want to throw the body kicks, so I started going to the inside leg kick. He was very good at stopping my inside leg kick, and that basically shut down my striking game. From there, he initiated most of the grappling exchanges. I got him down, and once I was on the ground, I felt very dominant. But I knew it was going to be a tough fight. He's not somebody you're going to put away easily. So when I put him away, I was a little bit surprised, to be honest, and no, very very happy.
Yeah, a lot of people were surprised, and a lot of people were very impressed by your performance. And now you are heading into a main event slot. How does it feel to be a main eventer?
It was really cool. I didn't expect to be the main event for or until I fought for the title. To be honest, I thought it would take a little bit longer than this, but now I'm taking it in full stride. I'm trying to show, I'm trying to prove to Eternal that there's a reason they put me here and show everybody in the crowd that I'm no joke.
You mentioned that you were booed in your last fight. Now you're gonna fight in Perth, which is, your stomping grounds.
Yeah.
I don't think no one's gonna boo you there, right?
Nah, probably not. I imagine it'll be filled with people yelling for me and for my team and all that to win. And yeah, I just like energy. So any energy is good energy. Try to play off that and yeah, give them something to watch.
Yeah, a lot of energy. You're facing Paul Loga at flyweight. Why the decision to drop down to flyweight? Drop back down to flyweight, actually.
All right. Well, I've only had one fight at bantamweight. The reason I took it is because I could not get fights at flyweight. The people I wanted to fight were very experienced at flyweight, and I imagine, didn't want to fight me because my record wasn't great. I'd only had one or two fights, and all the people less experienced didn't want to fight me because I am much better than my record suggested. They offered me a bantamweight fight, and I knew Mark was not going to say no. He's just a tough dude. That's what I love about him. And he said yes. I said yes. And then once that was over, people started saying yes to fights at flyweight. So no reason to stay at bantamweight if I have fights at my home weight.
Your opponent, he's a former flyweight title challenger. Did you catch his last fight?
I sure did. Paid for it and everything. No, it was
What
a.
did you think of his performance?
I thought out of everything, his most his greatest feature is his toughness. He got hit I don't know how many times hard with knees and punches, and he just stood there, kept fighting back. That was a great quality to see in an opponent because that's what makes for fun fights. I thought his stand up was greatly improved. He showed some good Muay Thai skills. He didn't use his wrestling as much as I thought he did. He mentioned after the Tim Moore fight, he wanted to mix it up better, and so I expected to see more wrestling, which he didn't do. But I think he's pretty well rounded. I just think I'm better.
Going into into this fight, what do you think? Is your advantages on paper?
Okay, so on paper, you have to look at my last few fights and my last few submissions and say I'm probably, if I get on top, I'm gonna beat him there. You look at the way the striking's gone, I think you have to, on paper, give him the striking advantage. I completely disagree. I think I'm better than him there. I think I'll be hard to hit. I think I'll find my strikes. But on paper, probably striking for him. And on paper, wrestling, I think I'll kill him there.
Training camp for this fight, how long have you been in camp, and do you have a camp? A lot of fighters seem like they're just training, and then when the fight comes up, they just ramp it up a little bit.
Well, I'm training all the time. So I technically go into a camp, but all that changes is that it gets harder. So training like 365 days a year, but this last 6 weeks has been really, really rough. It's been a lot of wrestling, but a lot of conditioning, but a lot of hard rounds. But that's how you get good.
Who have you been getting in rounds with to prepare yourself?
Mostly the guys from my gym. So the guy on the card called Chad Freeman. He's an amateur fighting out of Wilkes. Giving me very tough rounds. He's a tough guy to deal with. A guy called Brian McGrath, who was supposed to be on the card, but he had two opponents pull out on him. And then MFC have come down a couple of times, and they're coming down once more on Saturday. They have a lot of small guys too, which are fun to spar with. Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke with Ryan Robinson, and he told me that he was getting in some rounds with you, and he said that you guys are sharpening each other up really well for this upcoming event.
Yeah, I think it's important that we do too, because at the moment it seems like Eastern States versus WA, and so I want to do everything I can, and I'm sure they do too. I want to do everything that they can do to make sure we're the best state going around, and I think we're slowly proving it.
Are you a full-time fighter, or do you have a job on the side that you have to attend to?
Well, I'm pretty lucky, so I do have a job, but my job is teaching martial arts to kids. My coach, and the owner of the gym, David Wilkes, he been great to me. Got me the job helping kids, and so I do that, and all I do other than that is train. So that's all I do.
You go in there in the main event, you take out Paul Loga. You might get a title shot. Are you expecting that? Are you thinking that this is a title eliminator?
Yeah, I think so. I can't see I can't see who they could possibly have me fight next. I wanted Paul Loga before he fought Shannon Ross. Now I've got him after he fought for the title. After my last fight, you heard Tim Moore say the only logical fight is Steve versus Shannon Ross. I don't know what to say. If I don't have Shannon Ross next, I'd be confused. But shit happens. So what are you gonna do?
Well, I'm thinking that Shannon Ross wants to fight you because you beat Tim Moore and that's his teammate.
Hope so.
You know how that works.
I hope so. Yeah. If nothing else, I made him angry, and that's what I want. I want angry Shannon to come find me, and then we can play King of the Hill.
Yeah, for sure. What are your thoughts on Shannon? It seems like he's beaten almost everybody, almost like unstoppable in the region. Do you feel that way?
Uh, he's beaten a lot of good guys. I think his Charlie Alani's fight was his sort of breakout fight. I don't think he's unstoppable. I don't think you're surprised by that answer. I think he's just very explosive. He's tough. He's strong. I think I'll out finesse him basically, pick him apart.
All right, one last thing before I let you go. UFC 243 is coming up in early October. Robert Whittaker versus Israel Adesanya is the main event, which is the biggest fight in history in that region. What are your thoughts on the fight, and who you think's gonna take away the belt?
I'm pretty confident Robert Whittaker is going to knock him out. After I watched the last few fights, really, of Adesanya, he looks really slick, but Robert Whittaker's so good at getting in, and when he does, he hits so hard. I, I'd love to see Izzy win, but I just don't think he will.
If you could describe Robert Whittaker's fighting style to somebody, how would you describe it? Like comparing it to like an animal or something.
Comparing it to an animal, okay. I guess a mosquito. You don't hear him coming. He gets in, he stings you, and you got a big lump on your face.
That's perfect, man. That's perfect. Yeah, man. That's a great description. He is a phenomenal athlete, a phenomenal champion, and it's gonna be a great fight, man. But before that fight, you're gonna fight main event September 7th, Eternal MMA 47, Perth. Thank you so much, Steve, for the time, and good luck on the fight and your future, man.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.